My talk here today is about an ounce of prevention is worth a ton of remediation. And the reason I chose this subject, there's a lot of people in the marketplace today that are starting to say, well, don't worry about preventing intrusions. Just detect and then remediate. It out that many organizations, corporations that they went to didn't even know that they'd been attacked. So how, if you don't know that you're going to that you've been attacked, how are you going to remediate it? One of the things that I woke up to a big surprise in May, I think it was May 5th of last year. Symantec, Brian Dye, who's one of the executives there, said antivirus is dead in an interview with the Wall Street Journal. And this was something that wasn't a shocker to me. I knew antivirus wasn't working. But he admitted publicly last year that antivirus is only catching about 45% of the new attacks. McAfee reported that it was 25 million new pieces of malware were created and discovered. That's discovered in the fourth quarter of 2013. So the number of new pieces of malware is not shrinking, it's growing. And that flood is something that antivirus just can't keep up with anymore. You remember the days that when firewalls first came out, you had to put in a rule to block everything you didn't want. And very quickly we learned that, I don't know what I want to block all the time. Hackers would come up with new attacks, and nobody even thought that they would use that port. And so instead what we did is the firewall industry changed to where it was a default deny. So you only put into your firewall list the list of connections and the protocols that you want to allow in. My point in my talk is I don't want you to forget about prevention. So if you're thinking about the win and you're only worried about the golden hour, and you don't think about preventing attacks, you're going to have a lot more golden hours to deal with. The Australian government came to my attention, and back in 2013, they released their top 35 mitigation strategies. The Australian government says patching is important, but it's the number 2 mitigation strategy. The number 1 mitigation strategy is only allow trusted programs to run. What we feel is that prevention is a required line of defense. What I really ask is that you keep thinking about prevention and figure out how do you select an effective prevention strategy that will help lower the amount of work that you have to do for incident response. Jeremy Slaughter has done an independent evaluation of the product that we are saying is this is the kind of technology you should use.
And we tried multiple different operating systems. We recorded for Server 08 and for Windows 7, but we tried multiple within Windows operating systems. This is actually showing not only different versions of malware and things, but this is also where he was actually running Internet Explorer, for example, and it wasn't within the trusted apps. And so since it wasn't within the trusted apps, they couldn't run Internet Explorer. We tested everything from, we tried the ransomware, like the crypto locker and things like that he was talking about. We tested that on multiple different operating systems. We tested, there's a bunch of different online groups that you can get on, and they have multiple versions of malware and things like that you can use for testing. Well, we went and got dozens and dozens of different versions of malware and tried them on multiple different operating systems. This is with it being enabled. But yeah, it was literally that simple. And this is, like you was talking about earlier, a version of the crypto locker. But yeah, that's basically what we did. We ran everything that we could imagine toward it. We tried doing everything from scripts to viruses to anything we could imagine. We weren't able to get any of it to go through.
Have you used an application whitelisting technology in the past?
We played around with similar structures when I was working for the military, but none that was easy to deal with that. The trusting application that I saw in it, I actually prefer much.